It started with a single missing person. In the quiet town of Ravenwood, Ohio, life was simple. People greeted each other every morning, children played in the streets, and crime was almost unheard of. Nothing unusual ever happened there, until the night Ethan Cole disappeared. Ethan was 26 years old, a friendly delivery driver who worked long hours to support his father, Michael Cole. After Ethan's mother died from a sudden illness, the father and son became each other's entire world. Every evening, Ethan returned home at exactly 7 p.m. He would drop his keys on the table and smile. "Dad, I'm home," he always said. But on November 3rd, Ethan never came back. The last delivery that evening, Ethan received one final order before ending his shift. The address looked strange. Apartment 306 Carter Heights Building, Willow Avenue. Ethan had never delivered there before. At 6:38 p.m., he parked his delivery van outside the building. The structure looked old and abandoned, with broken windows and faded paint peeling from the walls. The street was unusually quiet. No people, no traffic, no sound. Ethan grabbed the food package and stepped toward the entrance. The metal door creaked loudly as he pushed it open. Inside, the hallway smelled damp and cold. He checked his phone again. Delivery confirmed. Apartment 306. Taking a deep breath, Ethan walked toward the staircase. Step, step, step. Each footstep echoed through the empty building. When he reached the third floor, he noticed something strange. The doors were numbered in order: 302, 303, 303, 304, 305, but at the end of the hallway, there was another door, a plain wooden door, no number, and a faint yellow light shining from underneath it. Ethan frowned. "That must be 306, he whispered. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. A message appeared on the screen. "Please come in. Door is open." A chill ran down his spine. Still, he knocked once. No answer. Slowly, he pushed the door open. The room looked ordinary at first. There was a small bed in the corner, a wooden chair near the window. Dust floating in the air, but something felt wrong. The silence was too heavy. The air felt thick, like the room was breathing. "Hello," Ethan called. No response. He stepped further inside. The floor creaked beneath his shoes. Suddenly, bang! The door behind him slammed shut. Ethan jumped and rushed back to the handle. He tried to open it. It wouldn't move. "Is someone there?" he shouted. The temperature dropped instantly. His breath became visible in the cold air. Then he heard it, a whisper, soft, right next to his ear. Ethan froze. Slowly, he turned around. The wooden chair in the center of the room had moved. It was now facing him. And sitting on it was a figure made entirely of shadow. No face, no eyes, just darkness shaped like a human. Ethan screamed. The lights flickered violently. The walls began to shake. And then everything went black. The investigation: when Ethan failed to return home, his father, Michael Cole, called the police immediately. Officers searched the town throughout the night. At 2:15 a.m., they discovered Ethan's delivery van still parked outside Carter Heights building. The food package was untouched. Ethan's phone was lying on the hallway floor, but Ethan himself was gone. The police searched the entire building, every apartment, every room, every closet, but they found nothing. And the strangest, there was no apartment 306. The third floor ended at apartment 305. No extra door, no hidden room, nothing. It was as if the place Ethan entered had never existed. Another victim 2 weeks later. Another person disappeared. Her name was Olivia Parker, a college student who filmed urban exploration videos for social media. She decided to investigate the abandoned building after hearing rumors about Ethan's disappearance. Late one night, Olivia entered Carter Heights building with a camera in her hand. Her video later went viral. In the footage, Olivia walked up the stairs nervously. "Okay, guys," she whispered. "This place is seriously creepy." Her flashlight shook as she reached the third floor. Then her camera captured something terrifying. At the end of the hallway, a door that wasn't supposed to be there. The video ended with a loud slam. Olivia was never seen again. A father's hope, Michael Cole, refused to give up. The police eventually closed the case, calling it an unexplained disappearance. But Michael knew his son was still alive. "I can feel it," he told them. "He's waiting for me." Weeks passed. Then months. Still no answers. Finally, on a freezing December night, Michael made a decision. He would go into the building himself. The return at 9 p.m., Michael stepped inside Carter Heights building. The air smelled of dust and decay. broken glass covered the floor. The silence was overwhelming. Hi! Holding a flashlight tightly, Michael began climbing the stairs. First floor, second floor, third floor. When he reached the top, his heart pounded loudly. The hallway looked normal. Doors numbered. 301, 302, 303, 303, 304, 305, no extra door. Michael sighed in disappointment. Maybe the police were right. Maybe the stories were just rumors. He turned to leave. Then he heard a voice, soft, familiar. A data to Michael froze. That voice, it was Ethan's. Slowly he turned around, and there it was, at the end of the hallway. A wooden door, no number, a faint yellow light glowing underneath it. The final choice tears filled Michael's eyes. He walked slowly toward the door. Every step felt heavier than the last. Memories flooded his mind. Ethan laughing. Ethan smiling. Ethan saying, "Dad, I'm home." Michael reached the handle. His hands trembled. "I'm coming, son," he whispered. Push the door open. Inside the darkness, the room was no longer small. It stretched endlessly into darkness. The walls seemed alive, moving, breathing, and standing in the center were dozens of people, silent, still, their faces pale and lifeless. Among them, Michael saw Ethan. "Dad," Ethan said quietly. Relief filled Michael's heart. He ran toward his son, but suddenly, Ethan's smile disappeared. His eyes turned completely black. The other figures began moving, slowly, toward Michael, their mouths opened at the same time. And they spoke together in one terrifying voice. The door behind Michael slammed shut, the light went out, and the hallway outside became silent once again. The final discovery 1 month later, the city ordered the demolition of Carter Heights building. Construction crews arrived early in the morning. Machines roared. Concrete cracked. Walls collapsed. At 8:52 a.m., workers noticed something strange inside the rubble. A hidden space, a room trapped between two concrete walls. They stepped closer and froze. Inside the wall were dozens of handprints. Pressed deep into the concrete. Small, large, old, new, and at the center, 2 fresh handprints, still warm. The building was destroyed that day, but the room was never found again. And even now, in the town of Ravenwood, people say, if you ever see a door that doesn't belong there, never open it.